Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday Night Live with Mandy on Creative Genius Consultant TV. I'm going to wait to see if anybody drops on. We've just had an incident in the house where we've had to get a spider outside. Then the dog went out, rolled on it, and brought it back in half dead. And that involved screaming 20-year-olds, etc. I'm in a different position tonight. I'm on my portable podium because I'm going to be sharing I'm going to be helping you to get your head around setting goals, because I know how it is in the real world. So for those of you that know how to set goals, you don't need to watch this. For those of you that really want some help with setting some big, juicy goals for 2021, that's what I want to try and do tonight, hence the different location. I'm right underneath the lights here, so I'm probably going to get really hot. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Mandy Nicholson, and I am an artist, an author, and a creative genius consultant, and I help innovative female entrepreneurs to launch, to grow, and to scale their business and make more money, their creative business, and make more money. I absolutely adore working with creative women, but I currently also have an amazing email campaign going out with a fantastic Marketing Academy offer. So I'll tell you about that later. Some of you may already have signed up for it. But tonight is all about setting goals. For those of you that are used to setting goals, for those of you that have worked in businesses where goal setting is part and parcel of the framework and the living, breathing walls of that business, then you'll be used to it. But it's very different when you're setting them as an entrepreneur, when there's just you and you're the one that has to motivate yourself and you're the one that has to do the stuff to deliver the goals. And you're the one that has to measure them and has to keep on track of them, because goal setting is an art. It's not something that everybody is naturally good at doing. And I don't know how many of you have set goals for the new year, for instance, you know, your New Year's resolutions. You say, I'm going to do this year, I'm going to do this. And then by March, you've forgotten all about it. Some of you may achieve them every year. Some of you may be consistent. So I don't want to generalize here. This is for those people who need some help with goal setting, who really want to get behind their goals in 2021 and make some big changes in their life and in their business. More importantly, I'm a business coach. I'm here to help you with your business. And I know how hard it is as an entrepreneur to keep moving forward and to keep that measure of yourself. So I'm going to be moving around a bit tonight because I've got the old flip chart at the side of me here, and I've got some workbooks available to anybody who wants them. So I'm going to talk about some of these methods that I use or that I have used in the past tonight to help you. And if you would like any of them, then direct message me and I am happy to share them in Messenger with you. Really happy to share them in Messenger, free of charge. They're literally just, you know, I've got a workbook and a couple of sheets that help with goal setting that are available to you if you want them, free of charge. So let's talk about what is a goal. So I've got a big, massive, juicy goal, haven't I, of buying a Scottish castle and running retreats there. So that sits right at the top of my goal-setting mountain that I want to climb, because that's my ultimate goal. But along the way, there are other goals and steps to get you there, aren't there? There have to be. You can't have this massive goal and then not have steps behind it. You've got to work backwards from the big goal and you've got to crunch the numbers. You've absolutely got to crunch the numbers. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples tonight, sensible examples that you might be able to relate to, of how to work backwards from your ultimate goal. And I hope that this helps you. And anybody wants to, I can't see comments off my personal page. I can only see if you comment on my business pages. So I won't be able to see your comments during the live, but I'll go back and answer everything. And if you want copies of any of these guides that I'm going to talk about tonight, then you can put it in DM or you can put it in the comments and I'll pick you up either way. So I'm going to swish you around here. I'm going to swish you around. You're not going to see much of me tonight. And I've got a flip chart there that says big juicy goals. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you. Big juicy goals for 2021. So I thought we'd just run this through with a couple of goals to use as an example. I won't be in screen for all of this because you don't need to see me. We're talking about goals here. You should be able to hear me though. So let's assume that you are an entrepreneur, okay? And you would like to have a really successful business in 2021. So what does success look like for you? I'm going to pick numbers that are easy, okay? Because then it's easy for me to calculate them in my head. All right, so let's say in 2021, you want to take £100,000 with your business. I mean, if you want 10 grand months, that's 120,000, but I'm using easy numbers so that I can work it out and work backwards from it. So you want to take £100,000 of income or profit. It might be profit, which might mean that you've got bigger workings out to do, but we'll work on income tonight. Yeah, if it's profit and your profit margin is say 50%, then obviously you're going to take that into account when you're calculating your numbers. So if your big goal for 2021 is to hit the 100K, you want to take £100,000 from your business. I'm going to ask you, what business is it? What do you sell? That's the first thing that you need to identify. What is it you sell? What's your average purchase price within your business? So if you've got, like I have, I've got 7 digital assets at different price points. So how many I sell of each changes my average price point in my business. If you're selling a product at £10, yeah, you know that you've got to sell X amount of product at £10 to hit that. If you're selling programs at £1,000, you know that you've got to sell 100. So let's take that, shall we? We're selling £1,000 program equals 100 sales. So 100 divided by 12 then gives you how many you need to sell. So you're probably looking at about 8 to 9, aren't you? A month, which means that you need to be selling, to be absolutely certain of that figure, 3 per week. Okay, so you've broken your numbers down. You want to sell £100,000. You've got a product that's £1,000. So you've got to make 100 sales in the 12 months. You want 100 new clients on your program. So that means you're going to sell 8 to 9 a month, 3 per week. That's got you down to exactly what you've got to do on a weekly basis. So then you start saying, how am I going to do that? How am I going to sell 3 programs at £1,000 per week? And remember, if your product is £100 or £10, it's just about increasing, isn't it? So if your product is £100, you're going to need to sell 1,000 of them. If it's £10, you're going to need to sell 10,000 of them. And that's how it works, isn't it? It's about the numbers. What's the average sale price in your business? And sometimes that makes you realize that that goal may be too big, or your current business model might need to change slightly to meet that number. But we're working with this at the minute. So we've ended up here with, we've got to do 3 per week, 3 new clients per week into this business. What are the tools that we're going to use? How are we going to do that? So we're going to do free lead generation through social media. That might, if you're lucky, generate 1 a month, 2 a month at that price point, and you'll have to do a lot of work on social media. Then you've got Facebook ads. And what other ways of selling can you then consider? Maybe 5-day challenges. This is a brainstorm to get to there. You crunch the numbers, then you say, what are the methods? And then maybe email campaigns. My writing is terrible when I'm doing this, by the way, so you have to take my word for it. I'll move it down as we go. So you've got yourself 4 sales routes there to bring you those 3 clients a week that you need at £1,000 to hit your £100,000 goal. So you then have to decide, how are you going to do this, where the gaps in your knowledge are, if you need to improve your knowledge base, and who's going to help you. So that's when you're really digging down into your goals. So I've got here a little paper that says SMART targets. Now, you'll have heard of SMART. I've used this for probably 30 years now, SMART goal setting. And the first thing that SMART asks you to do is to be specific. What you're going to do, why are you going to do it, and how are you going to do it? So you're going to find, what are you going to do? You need to find 3 clients a week. Why do you need to do it? You need to do it to get to that figure over the year, and you need to be consistent, and you need persistent sales in. The how are you going to do it is this area here, isn't it? And then how are you going to measure it? The M in SMART is for measure. Is it achievable? Is it relevant? And what's the time scale? That's SMART targets. That's about helping you to really structure your goals. Or I've got an alternative goal setting document here. I use lots of different ones depending on what I'm doing. So what is your goal? Why is it important to achieve it? And what actions? So it's about adding actions. If you know you want to take £100,000 and you know how many sales at £1,000, 100 sales at 1,000, you know how many that is. Your job then as the entrepreneur is to find the clients consistently, week in, week out. So you need this to be working on autopilot to bring you those leads. Does that make sense at this point? I know it's not really complex, but if you're setting goals, you've got to have really specific, clear ideas of how you are going to bring that money into your business. It's no use going out into the world and becoming an entrepreneur and not being able to really deep dive into every goal that you set for your business and create an action plan at the back of it. So you can have as many goals as you like, but you've got to have an action plan at the back of them. And you've got to decide whether you can cope physically with you as the main resource and whatever team that you have with the actions that you set to achieve your goals. So when I started at the top of my mountain with my Scottish castle and worked my way back, I knew exactly how many signature programs I had to sell and how many of my other programs I had to sell to get me to my annual target to be able to get me to my Scottish castle within 5 years. So if you want to take 100,000, you've got to break it down. So this is then, you then know that you need to become the master of social media. You need to become the master of Facebook ads. You need to become the master of 5-day challenges or email campaigns. You don't have to use both of those. You could use one or the other. So this might be your big next step, is to actually go and get yourself the right training so that you know how to do all of these so that you can bring in those leads consistently. So that's goal 1 that you could potentially set for your business. When setting goals and you're an entrepreneur, it's really important. And I've talked about this lots on my social media sites. It's really important to bring balance into your life and your business. It's important as an entrepreneur that you're not just goal setting in your business, that you're also goal setting in your life, that you have this perfect square of wealth, health, love, and self-expression. Wealth is where your business sits and your business goals sit. Health is about where you want to get with your health in the next year, and even setting one goal in that area, one goal in each of the 4 areas really is going to be big and chunky for you to take on in 2021. We've had such a terrible 2020. We really have. We've seen, bushfires, and we've seen, COVID that we're all stuck in at the moment. We've had the Black Lives Matter, which has been terrible and taken its toll on people's mental health, and their position in the world, and the fight that they've had to have this year. It's been devastating to watch that. And it's been really hard for entrepreneurs to keep going. But those of us that have kept going and kept doing the same things and kept focused and kept going towards the goals and working on the goals have continued to bring income in, because the internet never closed. Listen, the internet never closed. If you're online right now and your business is online and you want this or more next year, perhaps you want 7 figures next year, you still have to crunch the numbers. If you want 500,000 next year, you've still got to crunch the numbers, and you need to know where it's coming from in detail, and then have an action plan at the back of it. So setting goals is essential. And I want to share with you just a very simple goal. So it may be that you are currently not at that sales revenue area. Maybe this year, because of COVID, you've only taken £20,000 in your business or £30,000 in your business, and you want to double it. So you want to 2 times your turnover. But from where you are now, that's a reasonable goal, isn't it? Twice your turnover. Even if that's 100,000 and you want to take 200,000. Yeah, it's about, if you're going to double your turnover, how are you going to do that if you're on your own and you've got gaps in your knowledge? At some point, you've got to be able to say, right, I need to do some learning, or I need to hire somebody to work with me in order for me to make that happen. And one of the hardest things I've found with entrepreneurs is parting with money to pay for outsourcing, or parting with money to educate themselves or up-level themselves in order to up-level the business. Because what I will say is, you are your business, So in the center of any goals that you make and you set, what are your goals around you? Because you are your business. No matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter to me what you're doing right now. You should be the first goal that you set. If you lack the knowledge to deliver this consistently, how are you going to learn it? If you lack the knowledge to get to here or to here, how are you going to do it? Who's going to help you? How are you going to find them? What are the gaps in your skills or your knowledge base? And how are you going to find that? These are really important things. When you're goal setting, and I ask on this goal sheet here, so this is available if you want it, lots of different goal setting planners. I've also got a great Goals to Success Planner workbook that allows you to set 3 big chunky goals and set actions for those goals. So why is it important for you to achieve this goal? Because of what? Why is it important? Why do you want this goal? What is your driving force? What is it making? What is it that's taking you to set this goal that you really want in your business? Is it personal achievement? Is it necessity, financial necessity? Because you work from a different place if it's necessity to if it's motivation and achievement. You work from a very different place in your soul. And as an entrepreneur, you need to understand the difference between needing it and wanting it, because it will make a difference to the goals that you set. If you set goals in desperation because you need the money, then it's highly unlikely that you're going to get there. If you set goals and you don't measure them, it's highly unlikely that you're going to get there. If you set goals that aren't strategic and don't include you in the middle there and fill in the gaps in your knowledge, then it's highly unlikely you're going to get there. You have got to be really hard on yourself when you're setting goals and be really, really specific. I have a hardback book that I use, guys. Yeah, this is my goals for 2019 and 2020 that I set in here. Some of them are ticked off. shared this before, and there's pages and pages in here, guys, of, and and these are some of the current goals that I've got. I review this every month in, month out. I look at the statistics, I look at trends, I look at whether I'm on track, whether I've mastered Facebook ads, social media, email campaigns I'm just doing at the moment, whether I've achieved all of this, and how I'm doing on my mentorship program. Because without them, I can't achieve my goals to take me to my Scottish castle. And my financial goals to get there, I need to make 3 million in the next 5 years, which is perfectly achievable for anybody if you've got a business that can be scaled. So if you're setting goals around, I want £100,000 of turnover, it's very unlikely you're going to do that on your own. Even if that only equates to 100 people buying your courses, it's highly likely you're going to need some additional help along the way. You're going to possibly need some help with marketing. You're going to potentially need some help with understanding systems and procedures. You may have to outsource some of that. And you then need to become the leader with a helicopter view over your business that's performing at that level. So you have to go from being somebody who works alone to somebody who knows more, to somebody who knows more, to somebody who then can delegate and then manage and measure and review. And if you're not ticking all them boxes right now when you're goal setting in your business, then these are the things that need to be on the table and the agenda. Okay, so let me give you a simpler example. Forget business. Let's still keep you in the center here and the perfect square of health, wealth, love, and self-expression. Say your goal for 2020 is to take £100,000, and we've worked that out, and to lose weight. Okay, let's take it back down to basics, to something that, most women will want to do in the new year when you hit January. So if that becomes your goal as well as that, how much weight do you want to lose? So if you wanted to lose, say, 3 stone, how many pounds is that? How many weeks are there in the year? Divide it by 52. How many pounds per week do you need to lose that much weight? Are you prepared to do it over a year and make a full change? And then how are you going to do it? Who will help you? Yeah, why is it important for you to achieve this goal, and what actions are you going to take? Are you going to join a global conglomerate like Slimming World? Are you going to hire a personal trainer, a nutritionist? Are you going to hire a coach? What are you going to do something that you've not been able to do this year? Doesn't matter whether it's £100,000 or whether it's to lose, 42 pounds. So that's 42 pounds, isn't it? So you're going to be losing just under £1 a week there. So how are you going to do it? Who's going to help you? Why are you going to do it? Yeah, how are you going to measure it? How often are you going to measure it? These are the types of questions that you've got to be asking when you are goal setting. Because when you don't ask the questions and when you don't dig that deep, you're not goal setting, you're wishing. And we can all wish that we could lose weight, or wish that we could have a business that takes £100,000. But that's the difference between a goal and a wish. A goal you've got to work at. You've got to work it out to the finite detail and set a lot of actions to go underneath that goal. Actions that can be measured, actions that can be reviewed, and actions that you can outsource when the time comes. So if your business is only taking £1,000 a month right now, and you want to take it up to £10,000 a month, so that means times 10 the workload. Can you cope with times 10 the workload? or do you need people to help you to achieve that level of growth in your business? And if you need people to help you, what do you need them to do? So I want you to think and rethink and really, really stretch yourself when you're goal setting. And if you don't have the tools to do that right now, and if it's not something that you've done before, then please reach out and I'll send you all of these so that you can get started today. Be realistic when you're setting goals. Be specific when you're setting goals. A goal that says, I want a successful business and I want to lose weight, and that's it, is not proper goal setting. That's wishing. So be really specific. The more specific, the better. So, and know your numbers. Know that if you need 100 clients, you're going to hit that number. And it's easy, isn't it? How do I find 100 clients? Where do I find them? Where do they hang out? How have I got my niche right? Have I got my ideal client avatar correct? Have I got all the foundations in my business that I need before I get started? So those are the questions for you, and that's your little tutorial on goal setting. Now I wish you were in the room with me, because I'd be getting you doing exercises right now and really delving deep into what is goal setting, using mind maps, using, narrowing things down, brainstorm everything. What is it you really, really want? What's going to change your life in 2021? What's going to make 2021 so much better than 2020, other than the disease doing one, and us able to get back to a normal life? But what if that doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? Why not set your goals based on where we are now and understand that if we get back to normal, it's only going to be better than that? So if you go into 2021 and you haven't already set your goals, now's the time to do it. Don't leave it till the last minute, because then you'll be rushing it and you've got time to really think about it now. So this is your last day that you will be able to take advantage of my free trainings. I've got 3 pieces of free training available on an email sign up right now. The link for it is either above or to the side of this video. You can click on the link, sign up for the training, and you'll still be able to access the 3 pieces of training, because training 1 went out yesterday, training 2 goes out on Thursday, training 3 goes out on Saturday. And at the end of it, I've got an amazing offer for the Marketing Academy, which gives you everything you need to be successful in a business online, including all of that, plus loads more. So if that's something that's of interest to you, sign up for it. If you want the workbooks and worksheets, let me know. That's your tutorial for this week. I have, as always, enjoyed talking to you. I don't want to go on for any longer, because I know it's difficult to keep people's attention for over half an hour. It's a long time to sit and really get to grips with things, and it's not long enough to teach you about goal setting. I've spent 20 years of my life refining the art of goal setting. So how can I impart that to you in half an hour? I really can't, can I? Just done the best I can to try and understand you about, trying to get you to understand about crunching the numbers and how important it is. So it's been amazing to have you here, and I will see you again next week, same time, same place. Leave your comments. I will come back to you, and I've got a different set of training for next month planned that's really exciting. See you then.